Yeah! Get up!
Welcome to the Obstacle Racing Media Podcast with Matt B. Davis.
With over 300 episodes since 2012, Matt has produced the most consistent podcast in OCR.
Each episode, Matt speaks with race directors, athletes, and industry insiders to bring you the most in-depth interviews and conversations in the world of obstacle racing,
adventure runs, and ultra marathons. If you have small children nearby, now is the time to put on some headphones
or send them off to watch Phineas and Ferb, as there are occasionally four-letter words,
which are not bleeps. Now, here is your host.
Now here is your goddamn host.
Now here's your host, fucking Matt B. Davis.
Good day, everyone. Welcome back to the Obstacle Racing Media Podcast. I'm your host, Matt B. Davis, here in RCR Videoland. I'm looking at a guy who kind of looks like a combination of the what's his name? The Philly Fanatic? I forget his name already. Gritty, and something else. I'm not sure exactly what. We missed yesterday, but you know what happens when you miss yesterday? You get an extra special treat of the two Ryans. It's been a while since they've been on. We know you love them, so we hopped on a call, and I don't think I'm going to say anything else other than I hope you enjoy it. We discuss how their season's going so far, for those of you that don't know, and they're taking all this wacky rules and DQ business that's been happening. Tomorrow, Obstacle Discourse, Davis and Chase, every Thursday with me and Josh. If you haven't been paying attention, we had a great call this morning. You'll be hearing that as well. Let's just get to the call. Away we go. So I want to start with Brian Gowiski now on the pro team because Spartan, it's like the old days where the entire top 20 has to be the pro team or they're not happy at any given race.
Yeah, good. Welcome, Brian. Welcome to the club.
Not quite a Ryan, but close.
Yeah.
Well, old Newell spilled the beans that his merch credit for being on the Spartan Pro team was $300, but it didn't include shipping, and shipping was $50 of those $300.
That's because he's shipping it to his car, though. UPS couldn't find him, so they charge extra for that.
Somebody's cat needs to stop meowing. They're messing up this broadcast.
Oh, somebody's cat is awesome,
yeah.
And he'll do what he fucking wants.
Well, it appears.
I'll commit.
Uh-oh. Stop walking further away from the house. I think the signal's getting worse the further you go away from the house.
Yeah, the signal's getting worse.
Me?
Yes.
I'm sitting down.
Not in your house.
I'm 10 feet from my router.
If I hear that cat one more time, I'm putting you on mute.
He's not going to shut up.
Then move away from the cat. I've muted him.
He got muted.
Move away.
Hey!
We've done 10 of these. I've never heard your cat once.
He is always in the background. You're just not listening.
Okay. All right.
He'll fall asleep eventually. Don't worry about that.
He'll meow himself out.
Yeah, he's only got so much energy.
So we're 2/5 through the Spartan United States Championship National Series. Let's catch up with two Ryans.
Okay, someone's internet. My internet connection is unstable. Apparently, I'm going to
1.5 Ryans.
Turn off all the other internet devices.
Where's Lindsay?
She's right here.
Can we get her involved?
Hey, Lindsay.
Hi. I can't hear you. Hey, Lindsay. How's it going?
I think.
I can't hear anybody. But
yeah, she can't hear you,
I'll
but
just stand here and
you can hear her.
Can we
We'll do sign language.
Can you if we say something, will you say it to her?
Sure.
Lindsay, we think you're gorgeous.
They say they think you're gorgeous.
That was super creepy, man.
Is that really what they think?
Really?
You never know what
creepy.
him. You never know what you guys.
And then Ryan Woods is saying that was creepy.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Lindsay?
I don't think
thanks,
it's creepy. I think it's...
She spilled stuff on her shirt.
Okay, I thought Atkins was just giving Matt a boob shot there, but really helped with the creepiness. Good job.
Yeah.
On a scale of one to creepy. All right, tell her she has to be quiet now. On a scale of 1 to creepy.
Just be quiet now.
Okay. Bye.
Woods is the creepiest, followed by me, and then Atkins is probably the least creepy.
Oh, no way. You're the creepiest, Matt.
How am I the creepiest?
Yeah.
How am I the creepiest?
When you have a few of those...
I don't know, but Me being the least creepy is great.
When you have a few of those wines in you, Woodsy, who knows what you might say?
Well, I'll say it without the wine. Most of my stuff I say is not on the wine, and everyone's like, "Oh, how much wine have you had?" And I'm like, "Man, I haven't even started to drink yet."
All right, what are your thoughts? 2/5 into the Spartan
with Ryan
series.
Woods.
2/5 of the way in the series. It's going awesome for me.
Are we recording?
Of course.
Of course.
I didn't know we'd started. Yeah. So we're talking about Spartan and the series and how great everything is. So what's going on?
I've asked the question twice. I don't know what else to do, guys. I've attempted to start us off here a couple times.
This is a shit show. Well, let's let Atkins answer that question because it's going way, way better for him than it is me.
So how are things going in the series? Yeah, things are going pretty well. I basically hadn't done any running before Jacksonville. Managed to come second there. Beating Woods by 4 minutes and 59.9 seconds. Pretty impressive.
Pretty dominant. Pretty dominant.
And I think once we get into courses that have some elevation change and like some elements that I'm kind of more excited about, things will go even better. So yeah, great.
Yeah.
How about you, Woods?
Yeah. Well, I'm in really good shape. My fitness is fantastic. I think I'm in a tie for 8th or 9th in the series. So the results haven't exactly been there. I was able to keep it within 5 minutes of Atkins in the first race. So huge jump to the second race. I was only like 2 minutes back. So I figure by the third race, I'll be a minute ahead. And then by Big Bear, I'll beat it by 6 minutes.
Well, this is what's great. What's great. Selfishly, here's what's great news for Matt. For those that don't know, I'm making the Ryan Woods 2019 series video. We don't know what we're calling it yet.
It's going great.
Ryan Woods behind the scenes. Ryan Woods, the real story. We don't know, but I get to do one of those things where after the first race, you're 12th, and then the second race, we show the updated list, and you go up like this, right?
Yeah.
And then like each week it'll keep going up unless you shit the bed again. And then,
which is highly likely the way things have been going.
Maybe this becomes like a force.
Seattle was my worst Spartan race of the last 2 years, each of the last 2 years. So I'm really looking forward to it this year.
Well, I understand that Big Bear and Utah are more elevation and longer races. I've never been to Snohomish, or however you say it. Can you tell me about that course? Can you describe that course? Like I honestly don't know what it's like.
Yeah, I can describe it. Basically, Seattle's a pretty cool area. There's all these massive mountains around, and what's going on?
That's what you look like at the start line. That's what you look like.
Unfortunately, the venue is at this like equestrian park, so it's kind of like it's kind of weird. It's kind of like a weird venue, but it's pretty flat.
Kind of like a ditch.
There's one hill, kind of off to the side, and they usually make us go up and down at once. And otherwise, it's like flat running through like wood chips, and if it rains, it's muddy. If it doesn't rain, it's
muddy. It's going to be muddy. It's Seattle,
but it's not flat.
Yeah,
it can't be flat as like a Alabama or Florida course, right? It's got to have a little bit. Like, does it have anything like kind of like Florida or Georgia and Carolina?
It has one hill, but the most of it is pretty much flat, like Florida and Bama. So I think they got like 1,000 feet of elevation change the last 2 years.
Yeah,
there's taking you up and down it
a couple times. Yeah. The climbing it's not negligible, but it's
not relevant.
Yeah, not relevant. There you go. Just like a lot of other things that aren't relevant. But talk about them anyway.
Like the spear throw and the barbed wire crawl.
So what do you guys think about all the changes in rules? And do you think that Spartan cracking down on trust grabbing is a good thing, or that it's a little out of hand, or just like too much too soon kind of confusion.
Well, I think Woodsy should go last on this one. You and I should go first. Aki. I think that the argument could be made that previously it was always there's nothing we can do about it now. Maybe we'll get it next time kind of attitude. Other than the famous Ryan Atkins rope climb in Asheville, everybody else got a pass because we didn't see it. We don't know. We're working on it. We'll fix it. I'm going to create a fucking militia, whatever their bullshit excuses were. And now they're doing something. However, conversely, they're still as bad at actually officiating the race and continuing to rely on, we didn't see that at the time and couldn't offer you a chance to fix it and redo it and immediately adjust your placement. Okay, here's an arbitrary penalty that we came up with. So is that better than never calling anything? I don't know. What do you think, Ryan Atkins?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think that there needs to be greater clarity in kind of all the obstacles and kind of like a universal, almost like a universal language across the obstacles. Like, for instance, if they had painted the part of the trussing that you weren't allowed to touch, if that was painted like, I don't know, red or something, and it was like out on all obstacles, everything if that's red, you're not allowed to touch or whatever, then that would be really easy. You could run up to it because they're constantly like adding obstacles, kind of modifying things based on terrain and courses and what's available. So everything's like always the same but slightly different. So having that like a visual or some kind of standard would go a long way. And I don't think there's a whole lot of malicious, cheating going on. But there is a lot of confusion, and that needs to be eliminated for sure. Whether that's through rules or just better understanding or through some kind of like color coding or just even having volunteers there that know what they're doing, who know the rules and who have, the authority to be like, you did that wrong, get down, do your burpees or get down, redo it, and don't touch it. And if they want to have those volunteers, they need to train them and have people who aren't just showing up 10 minutes before, getting dropped off in a gator and looking at the first 100 participants kind of with their mouths.
That was a deer in headlights look you just
not
gave.
Not sure what to do or say.
Well, I think before we let Woods go, is it fair to expect some either unpaid or $50 person to have the confidence to say to an elite athlete, male or female, right? Like, I know you guys are super humble, but to some of these people, you guys are a really huge deal, and they've seen you in videos, and they're be like, I don't want to be the one to tell Atkins that he just did that.
I think that you could have like 10 people who are like trained and like paid in races or whatever, who are like in the sport and who care and who are involved. And I think that's almost bigger than anything else. And who like know what to say to participants to come back and do it. I think the sport's big enough and that there are enough passionate people in the sport that you could find those people and get them out and get them doing a good job.
I think, though, with these last three incidences with me and Hunter and with me and Hunter and with John Penland this weekend, all three of those incidents, the paid head official, Robert Coble, was there and supposedly saw it at each one of those events, So this isn't even like a paid volunteer and we're still not, enforcing the rules correctly. But I think that's the biggest thing that needs to, be addressed is making sure you are enforcing rules at the time of violation correctly, because none of us needed to be disqualified. We all could have just redone obstacles and taken, maybe as few as a couple of seconds, maybe as much as 15, but none of us should have like lost out on prize money, and we all did. But I think, what came of this and what you saw a lot of online, I mean, like everyone is correct, like nobody wants to deal with people breaking the rules. Nobody wants to deal with, nobody wants to cheat either. Nobody's saying that if it's in the rule book, you should be allowed to break it. But also the thing that's come out of it is, well, these penalties for people are sometimes a little harsh. I think there could be a little bit more of a middle ground, especially when it's the on-course officiating that is a little bit, not to blame, but there could be more done on the course. And some of these other great ideas are what Atkins just said. Painting things that you can't touch. I think right now some of the officials of Spartan are being pretty good about listening to people. I've talked with some of them and given some ideas and stuff. And I think that, one thing you could look at is what they want to try and do is have a penalty that is enforceable for everybody. So if an age grouper, just runs past an obstacle, they're getting penalized. So it has to be a large enough penalty to punish even age groupers. And I think, what I actually talked to them about was instead of having a 10-minute penalty, bring back the disqualification. And then, anyone who is intentionally violating a rule gets disqualified. I think that's still fair. But what I actually think they should do is have a time penalty for each obstacle. So if it is the fire jump, if you go around and you skirt the fire jump, you've got a set standard penalty for that. And obviously, if it's a fire jump, like the penalty should be pretty minimal, 30 seconds, something along those lines, or like a 6-foot wall. If you touch the side of it, they didn't see it at the time, they didn't make you redo it at the time or make you do burpees, but they see it in a video. Again, it's going to be the officiating that made the mistake as well. So you should have a penalty for the wall, maybe 30 seconds, maybe a minute, but something that doesn't completely, take you 40 places lower in your finish when you won the race. I think there's some reevaluation that could be done, and that would still enforce rules and make people follow rules. And they wouldn't, end people's races who flew across the country to do a Spartan race, and now they're leaving after finishing, second and leaving in 12th. I think there's a middle ground that Spartan could evaluate without it being too much work.
I'd like to ask you, since both of you have competed in other individual sports prior to this, if there's anything like similar. I assume there's kind of cheating everywhere, but some people
not with like video review, because this isn't like breaking rules on course and then enforcing rules on course. This is, breaking a rule, and a lot of these are very nitpicky rules, or they all are so far, and then having it come up hours later on video review. And I mean, that's definitely never been a part of track and field or mountain running. Track and field does really got stringent on the lane violations and disqualifying athletes for that a few years back, I think in 2016. And I mean, that was still enforced at the time of competition. That was still officials on the track seeing the lane violations and then calling them out. But I've definitely never competed in sport with video reviews. Sex addict?
Yeah. In most sports that I've done, like in mountain bike racing or ultra running or things like that, it's never like the only way, like real way to cheat would be to like cut course. And like, obviously if that happens, someone would be disqualified automatically. Other than that, like I think mountain biking and obstacle racing share a lot of similarities. There's like technical sections on course that are hard, and people have to, have the skills to do them. But like literally the course is designed in such a way that you have to go over it. Or, I mean, sometimes there's like an A option and like a B option that's like a lot longer and takes longer and it's easier to do. But like, it's like you pick one. It's not like, oh, I could go over here and ride this other kind of gray area and that'll be like just as fast but a lot easier. And if no one sees it, then it'll be okay. It's like, no, like you go that way, you stay between the tape, and that's what you do. So I think that a lot of the issues that are arising are from course design or from the way in which people perceive the obstacles being a bit either confusing or a bit kind of off in terms of how they could be. And yeah, if the course was set up so that here's where you go, here's what you do, you don't touch the red part, everything else is game, stay between the tape, and if you do that, you're good. There's so many like little, like you said, nitpicky, arbitrary things in the obstacles. And I think that someone should be able to show up to a race who's never done a Spartan race before.
Yeah.
They are told like a simple set of instructions, like stay between the tape.
Don't touch the red.
Don't touch the red on the obstacles. And they should be able to run a course and do everything properly. The way that it's become now is like you need almost like a PhD in Spartan racing just to get through a course cleanly. Like,
how does somebody new come into this sport? You know, is good. There's so many nitpicky rule violations now that someone new is just going to do burpees and get disqualified. You know, and
yeah, all over the place. Yeah, exactly. So, and I think it could be set up like that so that within like 1 minute of or less of explanation, the rules are clear enough that anyone could step up and race and not get disqualified
or penalized 10 minutes now.
Yeah.
I think
they're calling it. I think they're called. I think I heard it's being called. Oh, where'd he go? Chaz Ryans. I heard it's being called penlandizing.
Oh, did you do that? Did you coin that? Yeah, I knew you did. Yeah. What's wrong with your arms? Where's the muscles?
Are you kidding me? What do you weigh? 150?
Yeah.
I could kick your ass.
Oh, please. We'll see this weekend.
Not in a Spartan race.
We'll wrestle.
Okay. Let's do it.
Are you guys going to do mud wrestling?
Oh, even better.
Okay. This is going to go in the air and people are going to want to watch it. So,
what else should we talk about?
Ryan Woods is going to show up. Ryan Woods is going to show up to a Savage race this weekend. Is that true?
Yeah, in your hometown.
Are you going to come visit me, or are you just going to go straight to the race in the morning?
I'm working on that. We need to talk about that. Where do you live? How far away from Dallas, Georgia are you?
Unfortunately, I'm not close. So coming from where you are, it might be further to my house. If it's just you, you can stay. If it's you and Katie, that's too many people. My house isn't big enough.
Wow. Jeez, she's gonna love you.
Are you bringing her
on her good side? No, she's got to work Friday.
All right, cool. Then we can come, and you know what I'm saying. Then if it's just me and you.
No, I don't know what you're saying.
There's something wrong with my eye.
Creepy.
Oh God.
I think Matt is the creepy one.
Yeah. Come on. How was I labeled the creepy one in this group? Ugh. Meow.
Let's talk afterwards for real though, because I forget. I don't do well with math. Let's see. You're here. I'm here. The race is here. We'll figure it out. If you want to stay with me, it would be wonderful. And the race starts at 9, which all races should start at. I love that about Savage.
I know. Oh, it's the best.
Get those extra nights.
Okay.
Right?
I think that to steer the direction back in a somewhat relevant topic. They should totally start the elite heat for Spartan at say 11. They can start, all the open people at 7 and run waves till 9 and then stop until 11, run the elites, and then all the open people who have raced are hanging around and they'll go out on course and watch people race, and it would be more of an atmosphere. We get to sleep in.
We get to sleep in's a priority. Well, what about this, Atkins? I think
at 7:30 a.m. is insane.
Yeah, early mornings, especially when you get up early because you're old and you have to get your body all loose. But what do you think about this? What about for the U.S. series, instead of Saturday mornings, they did it Friday nights with the open house. So at 3:00 on Fridays, whenever the open house is, that's when the elite wave is. And then all the people that come out to the open house get to watch in the elite waves, and they can be more of a fan fest atmosphere for that.
That would be great, except for I actually talked to when they were for the
Friday Night Lights.
Right, and
Friday
actually,
Night Lights.
and like that would be cool for the TV stuff too, right? Because you focus just on that. The problem is now you need volunteers to show up both times, right? Friday and all day Saturday. I think that's, by the way, that's their logic. That's Dave Watson's logic for Sunday at Tahoe. Like, all the people done running on Saturday are going to come back on Sunday. That's actually not, that's Steve Hammond. That's not Dave Watson, which is not going to happen, by the way. It's going to be a fucking ghost town on Sunday at Tahoe. It's going to be,
That sucks.
Are you kidding me?
You think people are going to stay around after they've run and they can't race?
There's a lot of people still there on Sunday, but it just sucks for
They're
us.
there because they're
Sunday.
running. Or their friends are running.
No, that whole village is bringing I won't say packed, but it's pretty hopping all weekend long.
All right, it will not be hopping on Sunday. It will be like you guys and then me and Katie in the audience watching. I'm telling you, it's not going to be
right.
How it
Katie
normally
running
is.
around with her cell phone, making sure no one cheats.
It's not going to be. Certainly, there.
She's going to be filming all the rope climbs. Oh, that looked out of control.
Look, trust me, there will certainly be people who stick around for the weekend and make a weekend out of it. But there are plenty of people who are going to go, great, I can fly back Sunday and it won't be as bad going to work Monday, et cetera, et cetera. Like, these people are not professional athletes like you, Atkins. We have real jobs.
What about me?
That's what, I just said Atkins. I didn't say Woods.
I know. Yeah, that's what I'm upset about. I'm going to have to miss another day of work.
There'll definitely be people, but it won't be as crowded. That's my prediction. I could be wrong. Supposedly there are going to be bands and festivals and movies. I'm doing a really bad job of Watson.
Just Crocodile Dundee playing on nonstop all day Sunday. That's not a knife. This is a knife.
That's a knife.
That's a knife.
That boy, Australians love us.
I am in. Sounds great. Yeah. How is it like spring where you guys are yet, or what's going on?
It's a pretty warm day here. We're getting up to 50.
Well,
but it's sunny.
From the time that
I guess Atlanta doesn't really get winter, so
from the time that you guys were here at World's Toughest to now, it's like 1 week in the 40s, the next week in the 70s. And that's just what Atlanta's like. Like, there's no, until you hit like April, May, it's up in the air. And then it's hot for a long time.
70s.
Till like November.
Nice.
Right? Do you remember being here?
Till the day we have to race in Atlanta.
Yeah, that was a bummer. Because literally the weekend after World's Toughest, I think it was 70 the next weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been brutal though. Imagine running around in a wetsuit in 7 degrees and like sunny. Ugh.
You wouldn't need a wetsuit. You could just be like in a shorts and a t-shirt, just sunbathing.
Remember when you guys
wasn't fun putting on frozen gloves.
Remember when you guys got done? Remember when you guys got done in when you guys got done at 7 a.m. and you already won the race?
Yeah. We like went to Waffle House and had brunch, while everyone's still racing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen. I think
run hard. Get done early, go home.
I think we
could have came back and ran another lap. Actually, we should have done that. Just went to Waffle House, had a breakfast, come back to the venue, do one more lap.
Yeah.
Are you
super cash?
Starts warming up.
Real quick, Ryan Atkins. I understand that Philly Toughest is the same day as Spartan. I think it's Big Bear. Maybe it's Utah.
Oh no. What are you going to do, Atkins?
Will you be doing any of the toughest this year, though? Any of them with no prize money? Will you be doing any of the toughest?
12 hours instead of 8.
They're not really in my calendar as of right now, so probably not unless some sort of eventuality comes up or situations change. But yeah,
or somebody's like, so. here's a bunch of money to do a 12-hour toughest.
Yeah, I mean, 12 hours is if I'm gonna go and run for 12 hours, there's a lot of other things that I could do that would be fun and not get paid. Like go in the mountains and run for 12 hours, or like go on some adventure. Yeah. You could
run a 5-mile lap over and over again with barbed wire crawl.
What about?
Could do that.
What about enduro in Australia?
You've really been working on that accent.
Yeah, you need to maybe go to Australia so you can get some real life immersion with Australian.
Or at least rewatch Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah, like 8 times. I'm not planning on going to the enduro. No.
What about Sweden? Spartan Sweden, right by the craft offices. It's going to be great.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be just spandex all over the place. Just flying out of offices.
Well, listen, you have
as long as it's waterproof spandex. It's got to be waterproof.
You have a title to defend in Iceland.
Yeah, I want to go to Sweden. It's that,
Sweden.
like, not only was Iceland friggin' awesome race, but I'm like, I think Sweden could be even cooler. I think that what they're doing with the Ultra Series is like kind of what they should do with all Spartan racing. They want to do it. They want to like kind of cross over mountain running with like harder obstacle racing, and like that's going to be the Ultra Series. And to me, that's like the whole reason why people started obstacle racing in the first place, was like this challenge and this cool thing. And a lot of the courses now are just getting easier and easier. So absolutely.
Interestingly enough, this was interesting. I spent a little bit of time with the ninjas down at the Ninja Warrior thing. And a few of them have done obstacle races. And so I was like, are you going to go back to obstacle racing? And they were like, no, because we're certainly not fast enough. And the obstacles aren't hard enough that give us any kind of advantage. So why would we possibly come back?
Right. No.
Yeah. There's still endurance events. I mean, obstacle racing is an endurance event. It's a running event, but you've got to be good at obstacles. So, if you're a guy that just trains obstacles, and you're going to have to stick with American Ninja Warrior if you don't want to try and be a good runner. And that's where a lot of guys in the sport lie. They're pretty good, but all they want to do is, be ninjas, and they whine about how easy the course is because they don't train to run fast.
And they do like 20 hours a week of training for ninja stuff and like 20 minutes a week of running, and then they're like, the obstacles are too easy.
All right, well, listen, everybody, I'm going to put tickets up on Eventbrite. There's going to be a mud wrestling match with me and Woodsy. First pinfall, count of 3, or submission loses, and we'll get somebody, to ref.
Oh, all right. This is going to be fun.
Speedos?
I will.
I won't.
I will.
Oiled up? You should oil each other up first.
Who's creepy now?
Listen, this is all going to my advantage. If I'm oiled up, you can't grab me. If I'm on my Speedos, you're uncomfortable. You're not going to work around my hips, my glutes. So that gives my power source freedom. So, yeah, I mean, you're bad if you're not going to take advantage of weaknesses of your opponents.
Can we do a quick thing real quick?
I'm thinking Kevin Donahue could be the official. Or maybe Woodsy's cat.
Woodsy, you just turned 40, right?
Oh, yeah.
Look at me and look at you. You look 50, and I'm 7 years older than you.
Fuck you. Are you trying to get your ass kicked in our little mud wrestling event? Because it's going to happen now, buddy. I'm playing dirty. I'm going to throw mud in your eyes. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, listen, I'm actually going to put this up today. People can't get enough Two Ryans content. So what should we call this one? This one should be the Two Ryans : I don't know what we should call it. Stop picking your nose.
Yeah, colon.
Oh, yeah. Colin Powell.
You getting this?
Woodsy picking his nose. That's cute.
I'm blocking it. Seriously, what should we call this one? The Two Ryans : what?
I don't know. Colon take over the world.
Boo.
Colon cleanse. Cleansing. We're purging ourselves of all.
Two Ryans and
colon.
Two Ryans
purge.
Cat.
Colon the purge.
Colon purge. In the solution to everything.
Did you real quick?
The purge.
Real quick. Did you see the video I posted running into that girl at Bone Frog? Did you watch that video?
Oh, wow. Your rival? Yeah.
Lindsay Tauntaun.
Don't Google Tauntaun, folks, because it's just going to take you to a city in Massachusetts.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that video was great. That was that kind of made my day.
For $2.99, you can get that every day.
You could see her face twice a week.
So was she out just like running the course to get some like firsthand experience, or was she just very confused and lost,
or was the course in the way of her phone call?
Right.
Trying to make a phone call and everyone keeps running through me.
The course around me. Yeah. I was just out here talking on the phone, and all of a sudden there's a course all over the place.
Why are you wearing?
All these people are so rude.
Why are you wearing a bib?
Rude.
Why are you wearing a bib? Well, in case I get lost, they can point me back in the right direction.
Apparently, that's happened before.
Yeah.
But if you're not wearing a bib, no one can tell you where to go.
Yeah, you're just out there bibless, and people are like, "Oh, well, you're just gonna be out here for a long time. You might want to hunker down and start building a fire because I don't know."
No.
I think that's gonna be the name of this episode: The Two Ryans Enduro.
Oh man. Did you post that video on your website?
Oh yes, of course.
Or your Facebook or whatever?
Yeah.
Are people loving it?
Of course.
It's so good.
I know what the people want. All right, I have less than a minute now.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go subscribe to that channel though. I think for $2.99. I think there's a lot.
Send
of
me your
content.
password. Send me your password.
Let's share
I'm not
password.
going to spend that $2.99.
I'll send you my Hulu if you send me your OCRM.
OCRNMM.
Just make your password Matt B. Davis sucks, and then we can all share it with everybody.
That's what all my passwords are.
Thank you guys so much for listening to the episode today. Please do not forget to donate to my Patreon account at patreon.com/obstacle-racing-media. Don't forget we do episodes every Tuesday, and we do Davis and Chase every Thursday. Thanks so much again. I have got to run.